Zelated, thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. The black man is capable of managing his own affairs. The black man is capable of managing his own affairs. Just on few days, we heard that there was another heavy attack in Anafis, Gao, Kidal, and the news was everywhere that the leaders were not in charge, to the point that they defeated the Russian African Corps, and they even decided to negotiate with the TT so that they will withdraw from Bamako back to Russia because the TT overpowered them. But the current report that is coming is showing a different narrative. According to the front line, the Russian African Corps, the leader, the head of everything, Agali, has been wounded, seriously wounded during this. And Africa, social media everywhere, Mali, Niger, Burkina, everywhere there's total celebration. And people are asking the obvious question. Why is it that the people who told the world how these people overpowered the Malian armed forces to the point that the Russian African Corps saw that the heat on them was too much, so they want to move back and they have struck a deal with the TT to move back to Russia? Where are they? Why are they not reporting that Agali, the leader of the TT, has been seriously injured and nobody knows either he go by or not? But according to the report also, his bodyguards, they are now celebrating in hell. So there is so much joy across the continent that they told the story that the African can never do anything without them. They told us when they asked French and then the Americans to leave. They told the whole world that these three nations wouldn't be able to survive even for 2 or 3 months because the TT were going to overpower them and they will run and leave their country. They sold the narrative to the African that without them, we can never do anything. Without them, we can never develop, we can never protect ourselves. But the narrative is shifting. What these TT normally do is before the real fight happens, they take their phones and do the camera show, send it to, and then they'll start telling the whole world how they have empowered them and how they are celebrating. But the moment the real show begins, and then the Malian armed forces then do whom on them, that time the whole place becomes silent. Mali is now wiped out of the news headlines, and then it is left onto the African to now be talking.
When it's good, it's good. We have just received some very good news from Mali, specifically in Inafis. We have just learned that the great leader Tero Yad Ag Ali has been injured during an intense fight between the Malian army and the Tero groups in Inafis.
And Yad Ag Ali, the great Tero leader, has just been injured. God willing, Yad Ag Ali will remain involved in this matter.
Brother, the information has just come in. I just finished work. I said, I'm going to go home. I thought, no, I need to give this information to the true worthy sons of Africa so that you can share this information as much as possible. Yad Ag Ali has just been injured. I am giving you this information before I leave to get home. Brother, oh no. Yad Ag Ali thought that Mali is like the neighboring country next door, where one can create a rebellion to come to power. Mali is not like the neighbor next door of the...
These are two remarkable achievements credited to the Malian armed forces and the Russian African Corps. According to consistent sources, Intari Agazarin, the personal bodyguard of Bilal Aga Sharif, leader of the FLA, was eliminated during the fighting in Anifis. More importantly, Iyad Ag-Ghali, leader of Jenim and an iconic figure of jihadism in the Sahel, is said to have been injured during the same clashes. These losses occurred just a few hours after the Malian army and the Russian African Corps regained full control of the strategic locality of Anefis, inflicting heavy losses on the enemy.
A good terrorist is a dead terrorist. Mali is not Nigeria. Nigeria is the only country where terrorists are being given red carpets to go and terrorize the people. They are also being financed by the government, also being given information by the government as well. Mali, in this case, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger says no to that. They are getting rid of them, by the way. Do you guys remember when a Saudi news channel, Al Arabiya, went into Kidal in Mali back in April this year to go and interview the terrorists? The Malian government condemned that and said that that is a red line. And they issue a warning to the government of Saudi Arabia, particularly to this news media, Saudi news media, Al Arabiya. Now, this is the Saudi journalist here sitting with the bodyguards of the terrorist leader, Bilal Sharif. Now, this terrorist leader was saying a whole lot of things that they are in control of Kidal. Now, today, in 2026, today on the 9th, this is him laying down. He is gone. Thanks to the Malian armed forces, Pharma, and the African corps of the Russians that are operating there in Mali. He's gone right now, by the way. He is gone. But also, according to the African corps as well, his boss, Bilal al-Sharif, this guy right here, he is also wounded. They don't know currently where he is, but they might also just find like his body just laying down somewhere. More than 700 of them have been unalive, these terrorists. Some of their ringleaders went out, some of them, just run away, but majority of them have been dealt with unalived in Mali. So let me repeat again. The terrorists who are being given some misinformation, they are coming from Nigeria or other African countries to go and fight in Mali. Know that there is no place for you guys in the Sahel countries, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. Africa needs unity. Mali is fighting for independence. Burkina Faso, Niger, these countries are fighting for independence. We have great leaders in these countries. Not like the leaders in Nigeria going to the United Kingdom having fancy dinners while people are dying back at home. Kudos to Pharma, kudos to the Malian armed forces, Burkina Faso and Niger. They are making us proud. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. But the bodyguards of the terrorist link leader, Bilal Sharif, his bodyguard, this is him right now, and he is completely gone. So kudos to Pharma. Let me know what you guys think, by the way, because I'm really happy.
And the same African, the brainwashed ones, will now sit down and still be holding on to the narrative that they were given because they don't want to come back and tell them that they have been defeated. So for that matter, what they do is to just keep mute. So the brainwashed will think that what they have said is what is happening. But social media and the front line is giving a different story because the Malians have been able to neutralize a lot of them. Some are on the run, some surrounded, because they saw that no matter what, they just couldn't escape. And they don't want by. So for that matter, they just have to do one so proper one for them to now have them. You see, how can people you fought to save in World War II be the ones to now fight and save you? That your security and your life depends heavily on them for survival. And the African, because we don't know our history, sit here and we believe in the narrative given to us by other people. But the truth is, like the African Union chairperson said, now because of social media, we see everything. We cannot tell what is happening. Unlike those days when it was controlled by these people. So whatever narrative they give is what we go by. But thanks to social media, we cannot see the light and we cannot see darkness. But the painful aspect is we still have Africans who are still going by darkness no matter what. And the most amazing part is you see the African who is fighting for total liberation, holding phone and spreading the narrative of his own oppressor. The same person who is crying of liberation, crying of poverty, speaking the language of the same person who is giving him times 10 of what he's crying for. But this is to let you understand as an African, you have the power to do whatever you want. You have the power to change your destiny. Like Iran told the Gulf states, when the war became so intense between them and the United States of America, where they were targeting everything, the bases, and there was proper hellfire everywhere, that when the place becomes hot, they will run and leave you to pain. And that foreign shield can never be a shield, and it can protect you. So before you sit here and think that as an African, you need people to come and do that for you, you should wake up. Because over 10 years, they were in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, and they are still in Africa, yet the TT activities are spreading. Ever since they came in, Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, What have we seen? We've seen total defeat. Like Captain Ibrahim Traore said, it's not because the African army isn't strong enough, but what we need to defend or what they need to protect themselves and to go to the battlefield with is what they lack. Because they make sure that the TT are over. Then you are so told what to use. The old when you do one, it takes you 10 to 15 minutes to put another one. When you see these modern ones they are using, won't you run away? So it's not because the African can do it, but it's because the African has never been given the opportunity to get what we can use to defend ourselves. And that was what they were doing, like Captain Ibrahim Traore said. Even when they decided to purchase these things, they still block them, those who agree to sell. And some, they ask them not to sell to them. So that it will not give the narrative that they came and they are doing something better. And when they turn to Russia, turn to China, turn to Iran, they had what they need. So all these things we are showing you with the equipment that they are getting, like those of us who are still brainwashed, asking why we need these things, we have to pray for who? And pray for what? The person that is coming to attack you is not coming with prayers. You, the lazy one with the lazy mentality, you are the ones that need to be praying. When they do, you should tell that thing that is coming that in the name of whatever you believe, it shall not touch you and see whether it will not. The African is capable of everything. You'd save them in World War II. What makes you think you cannot protect yourself? That time that the African have this mentality of us needing people to do everything for us should be a time of the past. We are in the 21st century. We can see everything that is happening. In this information age, if you allow anybody to use you for their dinner, then or dessert, then it is your own fault. But thanks to social media, we have information. Anything that we want to get, we have it. But it is left unto you to feed yourself with the right information, or to hold on to the one that will continue to keep you as a slave. Long live Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. Long live General Assimi Goïta. Long live Putin. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall. And united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we'll make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world. In Africa, West Africa, and in Mali.